Hey everybody, this is Perch. It's San Diego Comic-Con this week, and we got a bunch of comic news coming out. We also have a bunch of movie news, television news, because that's apparently what San Diego Comic-Con mostly is anymore, but I won't grind that particular axe today, and we will just give you the comic news, of which there is a decent amount. So Marvel did their basically the next big thing panel, and this is where they typically announce their bigger announcements, bigger kind of title moves. If it used to be that they'd spread the announcements up into the various kind of the X-Men panel and the Avengers panel, but now kind of the biggest one has really gravitated around this. So a bunch of news announcements came out from this. First off, Jonathan Hickman is returning to Marvel Comics with Valerio Schetti, who is currently doing AXE, and Hickman is doing a series that he calls The Sandman of the Marvel Universe. This is a title he sees as a passion project. It's something that he's very excited to do, something he's wanted to do apparently for some time. And the trailer image, or the teaser image, says, "What happens when the powers that be meet the natural order of things?" There's a lot of speculation this is a ongoing Miracle Man book, or this is something along those lines. At any rate, this is coming out next year in 2023. The expectation is somewhere around the New York City Comic-Con we'll get a little bit more evidence of exactly what this is, but this was kind of the big announcement that got a lot of people talking. The next is that Marvel is teasing a new Fantastic Four creative team. Well, of course they are. Dan Slott has left the title, so somebody's got to write it. And they are basically use a compass image here. Now, what I've been told is that it's got north, south, east, west with little lines pointing to west and east. The two bits of rumor gossip I've heard is that the writer will be Ryan North. This Ryan North has done some Fantastic Four. He did The Unbeatable Squirrel Girl from 2015 to 2019. Quite likely, North, I think, is going to be the new writer of the Fantastic Four. And the West-East, hard to tell, but again, the other rumor that was going around was that the Fantastic Four would be moving to the West Coast to give them a change of scenery. Now, they've got a portal dimension gate that can take them anywhere in the galaxy, and they regularly travel the multiverse, but hey, take up residence in Los Angeles. Why not? Or maybe Portland. They could use some heroes in theory. Anyway, they have not announced a creative team, but as I said, it's a lot of people are saying it's Ryan North. Some people are saying Matthew Southworth, who's been working at Marvel for a few years, I think now. He did Daredevil, Spider-Man, a couple others, is the artist, but we'll see. If so, North-South, that makes sense. But anyway, that's we're getting the new Fantastic Four team. Again, of course we were. And then the other bit, if you've been anxiously awaiting the end of Jason Aaron's Avengers run, then Marvel has news for you. We are getting that end. So kicking off in November is a story that is called Avengers Assemble Alpha. And this is going to be drawn by Brian Hitch, definitely has an Ultimates kind of feel to it. But this is going to bring together basically all of these teams, the Avengers BC that Jason Aaron introduced, as well as the Avengers of the Multiverse that are currently going on. So all of these things all going on together, and we're getting they're saying concluding run. It's the start of the epic saga. Now, they don't note how long it will be or when Aaron will actually leave the title, but I think it's safe money to say he'll probably be on it through the spring. As they'll cram kind of one more War of the Realms style event out of all this before he heads off. So I would expect a new Avengers around May or June, and this is the thing that's going to kick off through the spring. But the basic series as it's billed is all the Avengers teams have to come together to fight the biggest threat that has ever been. And this biggest threat that has ever been certainly appears to be the multiversal masters of evil. Which will come for them. So that's kind of what we get. We get these two groups together. But Jason Aaron, if you've been waiting for him to leave the title, well, wait no longer. That is coming. And in terms of people who are also leaving the title, Christopher Cantwell is leaving Iron Man with issue number 650. I think that's Iron Man 24 or 25. It's hard to tell now that everybody does random numbers all the time. But he is leaving. Again, they have not announced the new creative team that will come on after that. but he is wrapping up his run. Marvel noted that Cantwell's thought-provoking run, I mean, it certainly did provoke thoughts, most of which is, why am I paying for this and how can I stop collecting it? But anyway, this run is coming to a conclusion, and then we'll get a new creative team there. I've heard, again, in terms of other rumors, I've heard that Nick Spencer is back talking to Marvel again. Now, he's been doing this work with Substack. Obviously, he left Spider-Man. We haven't heard from him since in Marvel. He's still kind of kicking around there. Marvel needs writers. Maybe we're about to get a Spencer run on Iron Man. Don't know. Again, these are blatant rumors. Then we are getting a new title called Blade Vampire Nation. Now, I know the daughter of Blade is still coming, in theory, somewhere, but Vampire Nation is coming out in November, and this is going to tie up the other kind of storyline that Jason Aaron was playing around with, which was Dracula and the vampires had formed their own thing around Russia, and that Blade was the sheriff of this Vampire Nation. And so we're going to get that. It's billed as a limited series, but it's unclear how long. I've seen some saying it's a one-shot. I've seen others saying it's more. It is written by Mark Russell, and it is maybe it's a one-shot. Again, I've seen more about saying it's a one-shot, but I have no real idea. There's been a number of different things stated. Over in the world of Spider-Man, Zeb Wells is basically doing a spin-off of his series, or some kind of little micro event called Dark Web, and this is where Chasm, who has been Riley in his new identity, is teaming up with the Goblin Queen, Madeline Pryor, and she's going to be, in theory, demonizing parts of New York. Free Comic Book Day had a little Inferno-like demon infecting a mailbox that Spider-Man had to face. Well, in this one, we are going to get Spider-Man and the new X-Men team, which is headquartered in New York, along with what looks like Venom and Black Cat, going against Chasm and Madeline Pryor and the Army of Demons. So it feels like Inferno 2, the Inferno we didn't get in the X-Men. Instead of political intrigue, this is demons infecting New York. But Marvel's billing it as kind of the return as well of Spidey's amazing friends, because Firestar and Iceman, who are part of the new X-Men team, will team up with him. Now, no, I mean, unless I'm wildly mistaken, that was in the cartoon. They didn't really do that in the comic very much, did they? Or am I crazy? Anyway, Dark Web will be a crossover limited series, most likely one of those core series that also then has tie-ins to the ongoing series. Who knows? This is coming up here at the end of the year. Also written by Zeb Wells. Zeb Wells is also teasing a couple other developments in all this that we have to look forward to. Norman Osborn is going to have a new identity as the Gold Goblin, and that's coming up in that title as well. Why he's a Gold Goblin, who knows? Rebranding, trying to be a nice guy. Just really likes gold. He bought Trump Tower for cheap. Who knows what's going on there, but that will be a big part of the Spider-Man series as it also goes in. Zeb Wells is also revealing a new Hobgoblin, which may or may not be one of the original Hobgoblins, maybe somebody else. Nobody knows. At any rate, this Gold Goblin character run and arc with Norman will actually spin out into a new series by Christopher Cantwell, who now has more time on his hands. So he will write the Gold Goblin series, which... Okay. In a series that is not a surprise, Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, which has this cartoon coming out, of course, on Disney Plus soon, that Disney is expected to hype up and aim toward kids. And, I don't know. Girl with tech doing superhero-like stuff with a dinosaur, probably a safe bet for young children, but who knows? They are bringing back the comic. The comic's been gone for a while. The series creative team is by Jordan Fenko and Alba Glees. They've picked Ken Lashley to do the cover, which does not remotely resemble the Glees, but why not, Marvel? You do you. It's whatever you want. We'll go through a couple of the other here a little bit more quickly. Strange Academy which just ended, is relaunching. That was a great series, so I'm glad to see it return. It's called Strange Academy Finals, and it does feel like the final arc. They're not calling it that, but it does feel like this is the wrap up to the run because it's not cool unless you can reboot a series. So we're doing that. It is there was questions originally. They knew that Scotty Young was coming back on as a writer. I think there's question marks about whether Humberto Ramos was going to come back as the artist. He is. So it is the exact same creative team coming back to the series, and that's good news as well, because it was a beautiful looking book. Chris Claremont is relaunching a mini-series for Extreme X-Men. Now, he wrote that a while ago, and this series is actually set back during that time period when the X-Men were, the Extreme X-Men featured Bishop and Sage and Kate Pryde, Gambit, Storm, Rachel, Summers, Rogue, and Wolverine would show up from time to time. But anyway, they're going to be going up against Ogun. So it's nice to see, Marvel actually having Chris Claremont do something instead of just paying him not to write. So that's pretty cool. It is one of these set in the past series. It is claiming to have wide-reaching implications. Chris Claremont is doing this Gambit series. It kicks off pretty quickly and then is going to bounce right into this limited series. And then supposedly there's something after that. Extreme X-Men #1 by Chris Claremont will also be drawn by Salvador Lorca, who was his creative partner when he did the book originally. And then just a couple more. Craving the Hunter, who's getting a movie, of course, a really weird movie. We haven't talked too much about that, but it sounds absolutely bizarre. In the vein of Morbius, not making any money. But J.M. DeMatteis, who's, of course, no stranger to Craven, wrote Craven's Last Hunt and a pretty damn good writer, will do a new limited series that will kind of definitively explain Craven's origin as a super villain. This is a 5-issue series, time to come out alongside the movie. So, hey, that's good. It's actually coming out a couple months before the movie, so the arc will be mid-run by the time the movie comes out. Now, if the movie was, not looking like it was going to be terrible, this would all be a good plan. But anyway, you can't have them all. Finally, two more things. The Marvel's Korean super team Tiger Division is getting a title in November. This is another 5-issue series. Now, Marvel's been doing a number of things with these characters. They've had, comics coming out, but now they're coming together in one Avengers-like team called Tiger Division. How is that girl's skirt hanging on? It's just hanging on for dear life there. But anyway, this is going to be, this team was originally showed up in the Taskmaster Limited series, and now we will see them take on a threat of some kind. It's an unstoppable threat. So they'll have to stop it. So anyway, and then finally, at the end, this is kind of good news. If you're a fan of Tradmore, and Tradmore is one of those, I love Tradmore's art. Definitely is it's polarized. People love it or hate it. I think he does really, really cool stuff. Very, very different, very unique. Anyway, he's going to be doing a 4-issue Doctor Strange limited series called Doctor Strange Fall Sunrise by Tradmore, and he's going to be doing writer and artist duties. Obviously, he did that Silver Surfer book, which is beautiful. This one looks great. It's going to be a fantasy-fueled Doctor Strange adventure, doing kind of crazy magic and fantasy things off the charts. If you ever were wondering, hey, is Marvel going to keep Clea as Sorcerer Supreme and deprioritize Doctor Strange? I think, you get Tradmore. He wants to come in. He does a comic. He immediately does it with Stephen Strange, the original, the Doctor Strange we all know, Doctor Strange from the movie, the Doctor Strange from the comics for decades and decades. So these are the things that always tell you exactly what you need to know, that these role swap characters are not going to stick. Nobody intends for them to stick. Nobody knows. Everybody knows what's going on here, but that will be pretty cool to see. So a nice 4-issue Doctor Strange Fall of Sunrise coming out in November. Lots of pretty cool stuff. Don't know. It looks like a standalone, living in its own world kind of thing, but definitely something to check out. So lots of Marvel news there. We'll hit some of the indies and DC and everybody else, but let me know what you're most excited about. Is it the Fantastic Four getting a new team? Is it the end of Jason Aaron run? Is it this new Jonathan Hickman book that will be Marvel's version of the Sandman? Is it the Gold Goblin? What interests you most? Let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe, of course. Hit that hit that subscribe button like Hank Pym hits Jan. No, again, wrong. Shouldn't say things like that. Thanks for listening.